Hi, my name is Stephanie and I'm a big fan of all things music, movies, pop culture and physical media. Today I wanted to go through all of the movies that I watched in April. So I keep a physical list of all the movies I watch and I write them all here, but I also have a letterboxd. I watched 25 movies, 9 of them I had not seen before, and I went to the cinema twice. Because there are 25 movies, I will try to keep this moving as well because I'm known to just keep going on and on when it comes to talking about movies. So the first movie I saw in April was The Drama. This movie I saw at a pre-screening at the cinema where we got like free drinks and there was like the wedding book to sign as guests, and it was really fun to be in a crowd full of people who were excited for the movie and where no one knew how the movie was going to play out. Like, people were laughing, they were screaming, they were, gasping. And that's the sort of crowd at the movies that I enjoy being a part of, where everyone is just like fully immersed in it. I really enjoyed The Drama. I thought it was a very clever movie, extremely thought-provoking. It's a movie that has brought upon many discussions, which I really enjoy, either reading about, hearing other people's opinions, or even just discussing it with my friends who have seen it. This movie was also written and directed by Christopher Borgley, which I hope I said that right. He also did the film Dream Scenario from 2023, which stars Nicolas Cage, and I saw that movie in the cinemas and I love that movie. I own that movie and I've seen it so many times, and I enjoy that sort of offbeat humor, dark humor, and discussions within a film that bring upon conversations outside of a film. And I think The Drama does a really good job of all of those things. I also thought that the screenplay was fantastic and that the performances from Zendaya and Robert Pattinson were really good as well. The next 2 movies I watched were Back to the Future from 1985 and Back to the Future 2 from 1989. I got home from The Drama and literally watched these 2 because I've been thinking about them a lot and I love them so much, and I never get sick and tired of watching these movies ever since I first saw them as a kid. The Back to the Future trilogy is directed by Robert Zemeckis and is produced by Steven Spielberg, and the first 2 just bring about a lot of comfort to me, and I think that they're just done so well and they're so embedded in pop culture that it's almost a comforting presence to sit and watch these movies over and over again. And sometimes you just like pick up on extra things that you hadn't noticed for a while because like you hadn't seen it in a little bit. But I love the soundtracks to these 2 movies, and these movies also bring about a lot of thinking as well, which I enjoy. Number 4 is The Disorderly Orderly from 1964. This is a Jerry Lewis movie. I'm a big fan of Jerry Lewis. I grew up on his movies. This was one of them that I used to watch a lot as a kid. Usually in April I get really nostalgic for like 1960s movies and things like that, and so I end up watching something like this or a classic movie. Yeah, this movie is kind of its time. There are some things that probably didn't age as well as, other things, but it's an enjoyable movie and I'm a fan of watching Jerry Lewis and nostalgic things. Next is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory from 1971. I watched this around Easter because I always watch it around Easter. I think the score of this movie is one of my favorite scores of all time. That opening and that ending especially, just every time I hear it, it just brings me back to like the first time I ever heard it as a kid. It evokes this feeling of magic, which is so special. Gene Wilder, of course, is amazing. There's also a darkness to this movie that I really like, and it doesn't really shy away from being dark, which I like as well. And again, it's a classic and I watch it every year. It's a really special movie that crosses generations. Next is Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory from 2005. I saw this movie in the cinema when it first came out and I've seen it a million times since as well. I watched this because it was on TV like the day after I watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I enjoy this movie. It's style and Johnny Depp's performance and everything about it is like quirky and unnerving at times, and I enjoy watching this movie. So last month I went away for a little bit, and in that time I got to watch a lot of movies because I had some downtime to just like sit and just put on movie after movie. That was great. I loved it. And one of the first movies that I watched was Meet the Fockers. This is a movie I've seen over and over again. It's a favorite of mine. It's a comfort movie. I love Meet the Parents as well, but I love this one so much. I quote too many things from this movie. But also, this cast is so stacked. It's amazing. Obviously, the first one has Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro and Blythe Danner's in it and Terry Polo. But then you add Barbara Streisand and Dustin Hoffman to the mix and it becomes chaos, but like A-lister icon chaos. And I love this movie and I could watch it a million more times. The next movie is Remember Me. This is a movie that came out in 2010. I used to see the trailer for it all the time before one of my Twilight movies. And I got around to this movie in like 2019 when I bought the DVD. It's an interesting movie. It's like a drama, family, thriller. It gets pretty dark, but I think it's an interesting watch and I enjoy this movie. I've seen it a few times now, I think, maybe. And yeah. The next movie wasn't really a movie, but I'm gonna put it in here anyway because I could log it on Letterboxd, and that is Robsessed from 2009. This is another movie DVD documentary that used to have an ad before one of my Twilight movies, so it's been on my radar since I was like 10, 11, but I never had it and I never watched it. But then that all changed this month when I watched it, and it's kind of shocking. It's like a whole bunch of like film critics and magazine people and things like that all talking about Robert Pattinson. And again, I watched this not to like learn things or study him or anything odd like that. I literally watched it because I thought it would be funny, and it was. It was extremely bizarre. I don't even know how to describe what it was. It was just people, like talking head interviews of people just talking about Robert Pattinson 2009. It's kind of funny in that way, but yeah, it's a very bizarre watch. The next movie is 13 from 2003. This movie is directed by Catherine Hardwicke and it's also written by Catherine Hardwicke and by Nikki Reed, who stars in the movie. The movie also stars Holly Hunter and Evan Rachel Wood. Everyone gives amazing performances in this movie. It stressed me out so much. I enjoyed this movie in the way that it felt like Rick Hardwicke had a vision and accomplished it. Catherine Hardwicke also directed the first Twilight film. You can definitely see her style in 13 and how it evolves and how it's still there in the first Twilight movie, just because I've seen Twilight a million times, so a lot of things I was like, oh, this is very like this, and I thought that was great too. But yeah, 13 had been on my list for a while and it was a full-on watch like I thought it would be, but I thought it was a great movie, and again, there were amazing performances in there. After I watched 13, I watched Barbie in The Princess and the Pauper. Princess and the Pauper came out in 2004 and it's a movie that I don't remember the last time I watched it, but a lot of it just sticks out to me, a lot of quotes and the songs and things like that. And it's a comfort movie. The Barbie movies are so enjoyable and nostalgic and they're so pretty and sweet, and again, yeah, it just makes me feel very calm, especially after watching 13. So while I was away, I went to like the forest and the trees there all look like they were part of Twilight. So naturally, I rewatched Twilight again and I just can't get sick of it. Like the soundtrack, the performances, the quotes, the vibe, Bella's bedroom, just everything that happens is just, again, so nostalgic and comforting. And even though I could do like Twilight as a one-woman show, like it just never gets old. It's just fun and I enjoy it having its place in pop culture and people loving it. And you know, I've seen it in the cinema a few times and drive-ins and things like that, and people just love it so much. So I enjoy being a part of that. Number 13 is Sleepover from 2004. This movie is a fun girl movie about a group of girls who have a sleepover and then have like a bucket list for the night of things they have to accomplish against this other group of girls. And some things in this movie were very interesting to watch now compared to when I was like 8 watching it. I have seen this movie many times, and what's so fun about it too is that like Steve Carell's in it, Jane Lynch, Evan Peters, Brie Larson's in it. Like the cast is full of just like names, like in little bit parts. Next is LOL from 2012. This is a movie that I was watching as a teenager and I enjoy this movie now. There are a lot of things in this movie that I like, which is also fun to rewatch when you haven't seen it for a bit and things are a bit more like, what on earth? But I really enjoy this movie. I enjoy the 2010s vibes of it. I enjoy that time period, and it's fun to see Miley Cyrus in a movie like straight out of the Hannah Montana era and right before doing bangers and things like that as well. So it's fun to watch in retrospect as well. But I really enjoy this movie. I think it's fun. And she's like holding like an iPhone 4 in the poster. That's so fun. Next is Paul Thomas Anderson's film Punch Drunk Love from 2002. This movie stars Adam Sandler, Emily Watson, Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it. I hadn't seen this movie since I first bought it in like 2018. I don't think it affected me the same way then as it did a few weeks ago when I rewatched it. I think Adam Sandler's performance is amazing in this movie, and I think the movie as a whole is amazing. And I feel like this is a movie that finds certain people at the right time for them, and I don't know, I was just drawn to rewatching it, and if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. Number 16 is Palm Springs from 2020. This was a rewatch. I watched this when it came out in 2020 while I was in lockdown. I think most people were still in lockdown at that point, but this movie stars Andy Samberg. I love the soundtrack to this movie, and this movie is just very bright and it has pacing that works and it just keeps moving and it's pretty non-stop and it's very like sharp, and the writing's funny and it's interesting, and again it's thought-provoking. And yeah, I really enjoy this movie. I was showing it to someone and I really enjoyed getting to watch it again. Next is High Fidelity from 2000. I watched this the weekend of Record Store Day without realizing. Like I realized the next day and I was like, haha, whoops. But I have seen this before. It is a rewatch. I do love this movie. I do have certain thoughts about this character, but I won't say much. But I love the record store that it's like set in, and then his like apartment, and you know how this story plays out. I love the last song in this movie. I won't spoil what it is, but it stuck with me from the first time I saw it because I love that song so much, and I love how it's used in this movie. Number 18 from 1988 is U2 Rattle and Hum. This is like a concert documentary music movie. I have the CD soundtrack and the vinyl soundtrack, and I've seen this before and I felt like hearing these songs again because I love U2. Just the way this is done, like the black and white and the bits with where they go sing with the choir and the stuff on stage and when they're talking about certain things. Like I just love a music concert documentary movie. Like I don't care, I will sit and watch it and listen and be transfixed, and that's how I feel about Rattle and Hum. It's just like always been there. When I first watched it I was like, oh, whoa. Next is Swingers from 1996. This movie turns 30 this year, and I'm a big fan of like Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau, and they're acting in it together. Jon Favreau wrote the screenplay, and obviously he's directed lots of big movies now and written stuff and all of that. And I really enjoyed this movie. It wasn't what I thought it would be, but I love the vibes of it. The Vegas stuff, the bar stuff, the apartment and chilling out stuff. Like it was like a great like friendship movie too, and I wasn't expecting that. I really had no idea what this was about. I've just had it for like nearly a year and I just felt like it was time, and I loved it, and it made me want to go out the way I always do. Next is Earth Girls Are Easy from 1988. This is a cult movie. I think it's a musical. It stars Gina Davis, Jeff Goldblum, Jim Carrey's there. I think there's some other people there. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But the songs are boppy. This movie's so bright and pretty, so it's enjoyable to watch. It's one of those movies that I'd say if you're somewhere and it was like just playing muted, you'd just be transfixed by the visuals. It was pretty bizarre. Like it's about aliens that like come to Earth, and then she's having issues with her fiance, and then like stuff happens and it's like wild. But yeah, it's like a very fun movie. Number 21 is the other movie I saw in the cinema, and that was Michael. And I was excited for this movie because I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, and I enjoyed seeing this movie and hearing it really loud because this music is some of my favorite in the world and it's so special. And I thought Jafar Jackson did an amazing job. Like, he sounded exactly like Michael, like when he was talking and stuff. It's just the way they recreated certain performances and things I thought was amazing. So after watching Michael, I wanted to rewatch the Live at Wembley concert. So I did. So this is my number 22. This is Michael Jackson, the Bad Tour Live at Wembley. I love this concert. I've seen it so many times. It's fantastic. I really need to get the live album of this show because I know it exists. I just need to add it to my collection. And yeah, I can never get sick of this show or these songs and these live versions of the songs. Like, I was in the middle of doing something while I was watching this and I just stopped and had to sit and finish it just like by watching it, and I love that. Number 23 is The Housemaid from 2025. I bought this the other week and then like watched it straight away, and I thought it was an interesting movie. A lot of my friends and family had seen it and were like seeing it in the cinema, but I didn't know much about it, and I was like, I'll just wait for the DVD. So I have waited for the DVD and now I've watched the DVD, and yeah, it was interesting. Some bits were wild, and yeah, apparently they're gonna do a sequel or something. Number 24 was Weapons from 2025. I bought this the same day I bought The Housemaid, and I watched it relatively quickly, which is surprising. Normally I buy things and then don't watch them for a little bit, but I'm trying to be more strict about it. But I watched Weapons and this was scary. I'm still thinking about certain scenes from it, and I kind of love that because I like when a horror movie sticks with me, and I love when a horror movie is smart and interesting and has scary scenes that really work and aren't cheap scares and things like that. But I really enjoyed Weapons and I'm glad that I did. Number 25 and the final movie I watched this month was The Black Phone. I've owned this movie for ages and I hadn't seen it yet, and I liked this movie. I thought things were scary in it, but it didn't scare me as much as other movies I've seen. But I thought it was freaky and I thought it was really well done. And now I have to see the second one. So those are the 25 movies I watched in April. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty proud of me for watching 25 when last year and this year my average is usually like 13 a month. So watching 25 is like pretty good. I've been kind of locked in, which I'm happy about. But if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.